A long time ago, in the kingdom of Madavnagar, lived Prince Jacob along with his parents, the king and the queen. He was a handsome and brave young man. Jacob was madly in love with Princess Lily, who belonged to another kingdom. She was extremely beautiful, and after a while she fell in love with him as well. Lily and Jacob were deep in the throes of love.
Lily, I just cannot live without you anymore. I think it's finally time for me to go talk to your father about our marriage.
Lily is thrilled to hear Jacob express his intentions. Jacob approaches Lily's parents and asks for Lily's hand in marriage. When the king realizes that Lily is madly in love with Jacob as well, he agrees to the marriage. The date is fixed for the next month. Once the date is fixed, Jacob and Lily are in a state of bliss and can't wait for the date to arrive. But one day, the king of their rival kingdom challenges Jacob to battle it out with him. Jacob accepts the challenge and sets off to war. His enemy is more powerful than Jacob, and he loses the fight. After losing to his rival, Jacob runs away to save his life. He jumps off a ravine into the river to escape. After jumping into the river, Jacob gets pulled away by the strong current far away from his kingdom. He has badly injured his head because of the sheer drop from the ravine. He lies unconscious on the banks of the river. A fisherman and his wife, along with their young daughter, stay in a house close to the river. The daughter happens to be walking by the banks of the river when she spots Jacob lying there. When she finds him bleeding from the head, she quickly supports him on her shoulder and takes him home. This girl's name is Nora.
Father, I found this man lying near the river in an unconscious state. I thought we should help him.
Nora's parents are pleased to see her so kind and helpful, but they are old now and can't take care of the man. Nora takes up the responsibility of bandaging his head and tending to him. After some time, the prince regains consciousness. When he looks around him, he seems baffled and disoriented.
Who am I? How did I come here? Why can't I remember anything?
When Nora and her parents hear this, they are sure that the man has lost all of his memory.
Please don't be scared. I found you next to the river in an injured state. I got you home and bandaged your wounds. You finally regained consciousness, and I think you are perfectly fine now. Do you really not remember anything about your past? How did you reach the river in that condition?
No, I don't remember a thing. I don't even know how I landed up near the river. Everything seems like a blur to me now.
Don't you worry. From now on, this is your home. And from now on, I will address you as John.
From that day onwards, Prince Jacob, who had lost his memory, continues living in Nora's house. Nora takes very good care of the prince. She cooks delicious food, especially for him. On the other side, Lily spends her days crying away for her prince who never returned from the war. She is not interested in eating or drinking anymore. Her father Elijah is very concerned and worried about his daughter's condition.
Dear daughter, what has happened needs to be put behind us. If you stop eating food and stop living your life, what will you do if something happens to you? I beg of you, please forget the prince now. He is no longer alive. There is no hope that he will ever return. My advice to you is to start afresh.
No, Father. I can never forget Jacob as long as I live. He is my one true love. It is not in my control to forget him. Father, if my love is true, Jacob will definitely return one day. My heart cannot accept that he is not alive. He has to come back to me. Till the day he returns, I will live my life only with his memories.
Lily refuses to move on and forget about Jacob in spite of her father convincing her to do so. She keeps waiting for him to return. Here, Prince Jacob spends more time with Nora under the alias John. Every day he goes to the jungle with Nora to chop wood for the kitchen fire. Then they go to the river to catch fish. Jacob spends the whole day in Nora's company. Slowly and steadily, they begin to fall in love with each other. Nora is a good-hearted and honest person. One day when Jacob has gone to the jungle with Nora to chop wood, he climbs a tree. He slips off and falls down from the tree. He lands on his head and injures it again. He lies on the ground unconscious. Nora sees him lying unconscious and runs to him.
John, what has happened to you?
Nora quickly splashes some water on his face. He regains consciousness, then looks at the jungle around him. He seems to be confused.
How did I reach here? And who are you?
John, what has happened to you? It's me, Nora. Why are you saying all this?
My name is not John, it's Jacob. I'm a prince. Please forgive me, but I don't think I know you.
After listening to Prince Jacob, Nora's eyes well up with tears. She understands that the prince has regained his lost memory.
Lily must be waiting for me. I need to get back. We are to be wedded. I had jumped into the ravine after getting injured in battle. I don't remember a single thing after that. Could you please show me the way out of here? Lily must be so worried about me.
Nora is heartbroken after listening to the prince's words. But she does not bring up the topic of their relationship or love for each other.
Okay, Prince Jacob. I will show you the way out of here.
The prince bids farewell to Nora and hires a boat to make his way back to his darling Lily. Once he has left, Nora breaks down into tears. When the prince finally reaches the kingdom to meet Lily, he is greeted by people who are surprised to see him return. Lily is overjoyed and embraces him tightly.
My wait is over. You have finally returned. I never lost faith. I knew you would return. My love is true. It has brought you back to me. Don't ever, ever leave me. I cannot live without you.
Jacob.
Once upon a time, there was a king by the name of Kawar Pal. He had 4 wives, Bhairavi, Bhanumati, Sunanda, and Gayatri. Out of these 4, the king was most fond of Bhairavi. One day, the king decided to go hunting. He discussed his plan with his wife, Bhairavi.
Darling, I'm in the mood to go hunting today. But not alone. I want you to accompany me. I want to spend the whole day with you.
That's an excellent idea, dear king. I haven't stepped out of the palace in a while. It will uplift my mood if I go outside with you. Just give me some time to get ready.
Bhairavi had a kind and soft heart. She did not approve of her husband killing an innocent animal for sport. Before they left for their hunting trip, Bhairavi went to the carriage and took away all the arrows from the king's quiver. After some time, they reached the jungle. Bhairavi told her husband, Kawar Pal,
What an enchanting forest! Look at the greenery all around, and the melodious sound of so many birds and animals. My heart is singing with joy. Why do you kill these innocent creatures just for fun? I don't like it one bit.
Hunting has been a royal sport for ages. It is a matter of pride for the brave and the champions. The bigger the animal, the better. Bhairavi, just so that you know, I only hunt animals that are aggressive and will attack. The reason behind this is to keep our people safe from getting hurt.
Bhairavi was trying her best to engage the king in her sweet talk. That way he would get distracted and miss spotting any animal at all. Suddenly they heard the growl of a tiger.
My queen, there is a tiger around us here. Be very careful. I was so engrossed in your sweet words that I forgot I was here to hunt. I'm going to go after this tiger.
The king picked up his bow first, and then his quiver. He was shaken up to find it empty. The tiger came closer to the carriage. The king kept the bow down and got off the carriage to engage in a manual fight with the tiger. The king was a fearless man. He launched a fierce attack on the tiger. After a long and grueling fight, the king finally succeeded in defeating the tiger. But in the process, he was badly injured. When Bhairavi returned to the palace with the injured king, no one could believe that it was even possible for King Kawar Pal to get hurt on a hunting trip. He was a skilled hunter who had always won. The first person to question Bhairavi was Bhanumati.
How did all this even happen? How did the king manage to get hurt while hunting?
Queen Bhairavi explained.
I can't see poor innocent animals being killed for no reason. That's why today, just before we left for the hunt, I emptied his quiver of all the arrows.
After listening to this, Queen Gayatri responded.
Are you telling me you put your husband's life at risk just to save an animal? What kind of a wife are you? You are aware of how much he loves hunting, don't you? And yet, you put your stubborn beliefs over his wish? What kind of love is this that pushes your own husband towards his grave?
Bhairavi had always looked up to Queen Gayatri. Her words pierced through Bhairavi's heart, and she was immediately regretful. The king's health had started deteriorating. Queen Bhairavi defended herself.
You can blame me all you like. But first, please let us focus on the king's health.
Queen Sunanda finally spoke up.
There is only one doctor who is an expert in healing animal-related wounds. But he lives 50 kilometers away from here. It will take him a while to get here.
Queen Bhairavi had some basic knowledge of potions and medicinal herbs. She came up with a suggestion.
Call the doctor quickly. In the meantime, I myself will prepare medicine for his wounds.
Bhairavi started preparing medicine for the king. She took some herbs, leaves, bark, and roots, and created a medicinal paste to apply to the king's wounds. But the paste only made things worse. The king's temperature rose instantly to be much higher than before. The other three queens lost their temper at Bhairavi. They scolded her for her attempt at healing him.
What is it that you want? Do you want him to die? We were under the assumption you were trying to make the king feel better. But your medicine has made his health worse.
If you didn't have the right knowledge about making the medicine, why did you even try to make this useless paste? Why have you put his life even further in danger? You knew the doctor was going to arrive anytime soon, didn't you? Only God knows what will happen now.
The doctor finally arrived. He did a thorough physical examination of the king. He then declared,
The king is perfectly fine now. Who has prepared this paste that is applied to his wounds?
Everyone took Pyravi's name and pointed at her. Then Queen Gayatri spoke.
If the king is perfectly fine, why is his body temperature rising consistently?
The doctor explained.
The paste makes the body warmer first. That's how the medicine works in removing the toxins present in the wounds made by the tiger. Yes, it is a slow remedy. It takes time, but it does the job wonderfully.
After listening to the doctor, the three queens thanked Pyravi for her timely help. The king recovered completely in a matter of days. Queen Pyravi shared her feelings with him.
Forgive me, my king. You had to pay a heavy price on your health because of my opinions regarding hunting animals. You like hunting, I don't. I feel very sad when I see innocent creatures being killed for fun. For that, I should have refused to accompany you on your hunting trip. I should not have removed the arrows from your quiver.
Your actions may have been wrong, but your intentions were never wrong. If you feel so strongly about me not hunting and showing mercy to these innocent creatures, then I will abide. I promise you that I will only kill an animal if it is violent and a threat to my people.
There are times when wives will take extreme steps just to make their husbands leave a bad habit. It is important for husbands to listen to them and analyze the motives behind their actions. If something is discussed logically and works for our own benefit, there is no harm in agreeing to it.
A long time ago, in a kingdom in France, lived a handsome prince named William. Prince William was a brave, strong, and honest man. When his father passes away unexpectedly, William is crowned as the king. As a king, he was very attentive to the needs of his people. He always made sure they were well taken care of. One night, when King William is asleep, he has a strange dream. He sees a beautiful queen calling out to him for help.
Your Highness, help me, Your Highness, help me. Your Highness, help me, Your Highness, help me.
What kind of a dream was that?
The following night, he has the same dream again. The same beautiful queen calls out to him for help.
Your Highness, help me, Your Highness, help me. Your Highness, help me, Your Highness, help me.
King William wakes up with a start again.
Why am I having this recurring dream? This cannot be a coincidence. Maybe the queen is really in some kind of danger. I need to help her.
William consults his minister Daniel.
Daniel, these days whenever I sleep, I have the same dream. A queen keeps calling out to me to help her. I have a feeling that she is really in some danger. I need to help her.
Your Highness, I don't understand what you're saying. I believe your mind is playing tricks on you. Your mind is overwhelmed with the problems of your own people. That is why you are having these dreams.
No, Daniel, that is not the case, and neither is my mind playing tricks on me. I'm sure this queen exists in reality, and she is actually asking me to help her.
How are we supposed to help her when she appears only in your dreams? You don't even know which kingdom or region she belongs to. How are we supposed to find her?
Daniel, take over my responsibilities for a while. I will go look for her by myself and try to help her.
Daniel is taken aback by the king's words.
Your Highness, Please don't run behind a shadow. How will you find someone if you don't even know their name or address?
William doesn't pay heed to his minister's advice and rides off alone in the quest to find the queen of his dreams. William owned a sword that could vanquish even the most powerful enemies. He takes his sword with him and heads out to find the queen. After traveling for a long time, he feels exhausted. He sits down under a tree to take a nap. Once again, he sees the same queen in his dream.
Your Highness, you are headed in the right direction. But be careful. Your journey ahead is paved with many perils.
When William hears the queen's words in his dream, he is reassured that he is on the right track to meet her ahead. He wakes up from his nap.
She came in my dreams again. Maybe she can talk to me because of some psychic powers. She is also telling me that I'm headed in the right direction. Now I'm sure of which direction I should follow.
William continues his journey in the same direction. He reaches a dense jungle filled with wild animals. These are bloodthirsty and aggressive animals. They try to attack him to devour his flesh. He uses his sword to kill these animals. Finally, after defending himself from the wild animals, he makes his way out of the jungle. After that, William reaches a wide river. The river is infested with enormous crocodiles.
The only way to cross this river is to swim across it.
William wades into the river. The crocodiles approach him in order to feed on him. When they open their jaws to bite him, he uses his sword to kill them. In this way, he manages to swim across the river. After getting out of the river, he comes to a long desert. He walks across the desert and reaches a kingdom.
Maybe this is the kingdom where the queen resides.
William is relieved to finally reach the kingdom. He walks ahead and enters the kingdom. He notices a gigantic demon breathing out fire and tormenting the people of the kingdom. William is taken by surprise upon seeing the demon.
This demon is hostile and cruel. Maybe the queen of this kingdom called out for help to be saved from this demon. If I don't destroy him, he will make life a living hell for these people. I have no choice but to kill him.
William walks towards the demon, who goes by the name of Luca. Luca is a powerful and clever demon.
Now who are you? Are you not aware of who I am? People take one look at me and run away in fear. But look at you, inviting your own death by coming in front of me. I have to admit, I have never met anyone as brave as you. Do you not value your own life?
I cannot stand here and watch you perform these cruel acts on people. Leave them alone, or else I will not leave you alive.
You will kill me? I will smash you into the ground like a puny mosquito.
The demon Luca comes closer to attack King William. William tries to attack him with his sword. Luca appears to vanish into the ground. William is baffled by this action. The demon appears again. William attacks him again. The same thing happens again, and the demon vanishes below the ground.
Your Highness, stab the ground 3 times, right where the demon seems to vanish.
William takes his sword and stabs it under the ground 3 times. The demon reappears above the ground. Then William chops off the demon's head with his sword. After the demon is dead, the people of the kingdom come out of their houses and stare at William in admiration. The queen of the kingdom, Hazel, appears in front of William. She is ecstatic to see William in front of her. William is also spellbound by the queen's beauty.
Your Highness, you have done me and my people a huge favor by killing the demon. I will always be indebted to you.
It's hardly a favor. It is always our moral duty to help those in need. Why did you choose to contact me of all people? And how did you manage to communicate with me through my dreams?
Your Highness, I could manage to do that because of my psychic powers. I needed a fearless man who would not hesitate to fight a demon like Luca. That's why I used my magical abilities to find you. The only way I could ask you for your help was through your dreams.
You became the queen of my dreams. How could I not come to help you? Queen Hazel, when I saw you in my dreams, I also fell in love with you. Will you please marry me?
The queen blushes shyly on hearing the proposal. Her shyness conveys her acceptance of the proposal. Queen Hazel has also fallen for King William. After some days, the two get married amidst pomp and grandeur. They live happily ever after.
When Rosalina, the Queen of Fairies, gave birth to twin fairies, the entire palace rejoiced in an atmosphere of celebration. The fairies danced in joy. Rihanna, the sorceress, heard the news about the birth of the twins.
These celebrations will be short-lived. I will make sure I take my revenge on the Fairy Queen. And one day, I will rule over all of the fairy kingdoms.
One night, sorceress Rihanna hatched a plan to kidnap the twin fairies with the help of her magic. She wanted to take them away without removing them from their cribs. Her magic managed to surround the crib, but could not touch the twins at all. The Fairy Queen had created a strong protective shield around the twins with her magical powers. Rihanna could not succeed in penetrating the shield.
Huh? How is this possible? My magic is not working. This Fairy Queen is smarter than I assumed. But neither am I the sorts to give up so easily. I will try once again.
The Fairy Queen could sense Rihanna's intentions very clearly. She used even stronger magic to secure protection around the twins. Many years passed by, and Silk Rose and Little Rose had grown up to become young and beautiful fairies. The Fairy Queen used to constantly warn them to be careful.
Listen to me, my darlings. Promise me you will never step out of the palace premises. Your safety is at risk outside the premises.
Queen Mother, who could possibly consider us their enemy?
My girls, you are not the enemy. I am. It is the evil sorceress Rihanna who is always out to abduct you.
One day, Little Rose expressed a desire to Silk Rose about wanting to step outside the palace premises.
Silk Rose, we both are so utterly bored and trapped within these four walls. Shouldn't we get out of here and see what the rest of the world is like?
Little Rose, You need to understand how dangerous it is for us to step outside the palace premises. We need to stay inside.
When the two fairies were talking, Magician Kazam appeared in front of them.
I am Magician Kazam. I'm the boss. I'm the man. Get ready, girls. We are going for a ride.
Who are you? We have never seen you before.
I am Magician Kazam. I'm the boss. I'm the man. Get ready, girls. We are going for a ride.
He was more frightening than the sorceress. Magician Kazam shrunk Little Rose and Silk Rose with his magic and locked them up in tiny cages. Then he flew with them straight to Sorceress Rihanna. The sorceress was ecstatic to see them finally captured.
Kazam, today you have achieved what I could not in all these years. My magic refused to work on them because of the protective shield created by the Fairy Queen. Now I can take my revenge on her.
I need to take my revenge on her as well. Our goal should now be to take full control over the entire fairy kingdom. If we join hands, we can rule over the fairy kingdom together. King Henry has already been kept captive by me. All we need now is to capture the Fairy Queen.
No, please let my father go. Magician, please release my father.
So that King Henry then begs me to release his daughters? My plan is to capture the Fairy Queen and all her fairies. The ones who obey me can become my slaves. I will become the king of the whole fairy kingdom. I am Magician Kazam. I'm the boss. I'm the man.
Magician Kazam, promise me that you will help me. I have unique powers too, and when coupled with yours, the future will be ours. I will get my daughter married off to your son as well.
Rosalina the Fairy Queen receives the news of her daughters being captured by Kazam. She is overcome with worry.
First, I need to free King Henry. He has very strong magical powers. Kazam is no match for him. As long as I have the magic pearl, no dark magic can harm me.
At that time, Magician Kazam appears before the Fairy Queen. He is carrying with him Little Rose and Silk Rose in their respective cages. The magician unleashes his magic on the Fairy Queen, but she is unharmed thanks to the magic pearl.
I will capture the Fairy Queen right now. Because I am Magician Kazam. I'm the boss. I'm the man.
Now, the Fairy Queen unleashes her magic on the magician. He falls to the ground and she quickly snatches his magic wand from him.
My wand! My wand! Give it back to me. Otherwise, I will destroy everything. I will burn your palace to the ground.
Fairy Queen, return the magician's wand back to him. If you don't, the consequences will be severe.
Think about the consequences of your own actions. Magician, you are now under my control. Release King Henry and my daughters right now. If you don't, I will burn both of you into ashes.
The magician immediately releases Silk Rose and Little Rose. King Henry is free too, and appears in front of them. King Henry uses his magical powers to turn both the magician and the sorceress into mice, and captures them in a cage.
Now we have to release all the prisoners taken by these two. Silk Rose and Little Rose, come here. Take these two necklaces strung out of magic pearls. These will keep you unharmed. You can use these to save others as well. These two evil magicians have held a lot of people captive. Go, set those prisoners free.
King Henry turns to the two mice and asks them a question.
Magician Mouse, tell me, where have you kept the other prisoners? Remember, we have your magic wand. Now blurt it out.
I have held a lot of prisoners in the cave of the Black Mountain in Viratnagar. There are 2 princes there as well.
My daughters, go to Viratnagar and find the cave in the Black Mountain. Release everyone you find there.
Yes, Father, both of us will go right now.
My darlings, please be careful. If you are in any trouble, just think of us.
Silk Rose and Little Rose flew and reached the cave in the Black Mountain. They released all the prisoners there. There were 2 princes in the group, named Robert and Francis.
You two have done us a huge favor by rescuing us and setting us free. We are forever in your debt. Today, good has truly won over evil. Dear fairies, we would really like you to visit our palace.
Dear princes, we are sorry, but we have to get back to our fairy kingdom right now. But we promise to visit your palace one day for sure. We will take your leave right now.
The 2 fairies flew away into the sky and made their way back to the fairy kingdom. The 2 princes kept admiring them till they were out of sight.
Princess, a long time ago, on a stormy day in the palace of Maharaja of Maharashtra, a little princess called Garima was born. To express their unbridled happiness, the king and queen distributed gold, silver, gems, and pearls to the people in their kingdom. Time passed by, and Garima turned 6 years old. One day, she made a strange demand to her mother.
Mother, I want you to bring me the moon and stars.
Oh, my dear Garima, have you lost your mind? How is it possible for anyone to pluck the stars from the sky? The king came out of his room just then.
Don't you fret, my darling. You want the stars? I'll send my minister right now to get them for you.
At the king's command, the minister goes and fetches some paper stars. After receiving them, Princess Garima is thrilled beyond measure.
Thank you, Father. You are the best. You never let me down.
My king, your pampering has spoiled her. God knows how she will turn out to be in the future.
That's not the case. The older she grows, the more mature she will turn out to be.
Finally, the day arrived when the princess turned 16, and yet there was no noticeable change in her attitude or habits. She continued to lash out at the maids and insult them. She treated them as if they were inhuman. One day, a maid came to Garima's room with a bowl of kheer, a milky dessert.
Long live the princess! The queen has sent this kheer for you. She has asked you to consume it while it is still warm.
All right, put it down and leave. I'll eat it in a while.
Forgive my insolence, but the queen has specifically asked you to eat it now.
Garima gets offended and throws the kheer straight at the maid's face.
Who on earth are you to tell me what to do? Get out of here.
On hearing the loud commotion, the king and queen enter Garima's room and understand the scenario.
What is this obnoxious behavior, Garima? Is this how you treat the maid?
Exactly, mother. She is a maid. She can't talk to me in a raised voice.
Listen to me, my princess. Calm down. This maid will now be shown the way to the door.
Bravo, my king. What a great way to teach her right from wrong. If others ever were tolerated such indespicable behavior from their daughters, the future of womankind doesn't have any hope left. Oh, come on, mother. Stop being so preachy. Do me a favor and get this maid out of my sight. After this altercation, Garima storms
rushes out of the palace in her carriage to let off some steam. There is a rumbling in the sky, and within minutes, thunder and lightning bring forth a heavy storm. The kingdom is caught in a deluge, and the rivers start flooding. The whole kingdom gets battered by this storm. The kingdom is in bad shape because of the storm. I really hope Garima is safe right now.
I hope so too. My poor baby must be stuck somewhere. I'm getting very worried. Ministers, go quickly and search for my princess.
Yes, my king. Soldiers, get ready. We have to go find the princess.
When the storm subsides, the minister sets out with the soldiers to hunt for Princess Garima. Even after 2 days, the princess is nowhere to be found. Unsuccessful in their mission, they make their way back to the palace. You came back, minister? Where's my daughter Garima? Is she still upset with us?
Forgive me, my queen. We have been unsuccessful in tracing the princess. What do you mean? You couldn't complete a simple task? You don't deserve to be my minister. I will accept whatever punishment you think I deserve, but the plain truth is that the princess is not to be found anywhere. I wonder if she is alive at all. A lot of people have all died because of the floods. Their faces are unidentifiable because of the swollen bodies.
After hearing this, the queen faints and falls down. The king starts crying unconsolably. Princess Garima gets swept away in the floods, and the river carries her to the village where her former maid resides, the same one she insulted so terribly.
Why is a crowd gathered near the banks of the river? Let me go and see as well.
On spotting Princess Garima, the maid instantly recognizes her.
Princess, it's me, your maid. Open your eyes, princess.
Do you recognize her?
Yes, it's our Princess Garima. It looks like she has been swept away in the floods and landed up here. But why is she not talking?
She seems to have passed out. Once the water is extracted out of her body, she'll come to her senses. Take her to your house.
I surely will. Please help me to transport her to my house.
The villagers help to transfer the princess to the maid's house. The maid goes to call the local doctor.
Doctor, please come quickly with me. Our princess is lying unconscious at my house. You have to make her okay no matter what.
Yes, my child. I'm coming with you. Let me grab my medicine.
The doctor accompanies the maid to her house and extracts the water from the body of the princess. He also makes the princess consume a plant extract.
Don't worry. She will regain consciousness in some time. While we wait, could I have a cup of tea, please? I'll take my leave after that.
Yes, of course, doctor.
The maid hands the doctor a cup of tea.
Can I say something?
Yes, doctor.
You have a golden opportunity here. You can demand as much money as you wish for from the king and the queen. After all, you have saved their darling princess.
How can you say something like that? Bite the hand that feeds you. I could never do something like that. Now, if you're done, please leave.
The princess comes to her senses and overhears the conversation. She is consumed by regret.
What have I done? I've committed a sin by degrading such an honest and sincere girl.
The maid turns out to find the princess standing up.
Long live the princess! I'm so happy to see that you have recovered now. Please forgive me. I behaved very rudely with you. I put you down. You have saved my life. I can never repay this favor. I merely performed my duty, princess. The king and queen have always been kind to me. Please don't worry about anything. You need to eat food, have your medicines, and rest for a while. You really need the rest.
The maid cooked and offered all sorts of food to Garima.
What yummy food, just like the food cooked by our royal chefs.
After her meals and medicines, Princess Garima proceeds to rest. The following day, the maid's neighbor visits her house.
I saw you at the jeweler shop yesterday. Buying some jewelry, are we? How can I afford any jewelry? After I was fired from the royal palace, I have not been able to source even 2 meals in a day. Maybe my eyes were playing tricks on me. Not really. I did go to the jeweler's shop, but not to buy any jewelry. I had gone to sell my earrings. But what dire need made you sell them? Actually, I needed the money to buy food for the princess. She's not used to regular boring foods like us. I decided to offer her a variety of dishes. Oh, so that's what it is.
Princess Garima overheard this conversation as well. Meanwhile, the king and queen arrive at the maid's house, accompanied by the doctor.
You have invited death by kidnapping our princess. Where are you hiding? Show your face.
The maid and the princess come outside on hearing the king's voice.
Father, you are here. We are ecstatic to see you alive. Thank God the maid has not harmed you in any way. My queen, how can I ever harm our own princess?
Be quiet. If the doctor hadn't given us this news in exchange for a reward, we wouldn't have had a clue about the whereabouts of our only child.
Calm down, father. The doctor is greedy and not worthy of the praise you have been showering on him. In spite of tempting her, this honest maid did not waver. Not only that, she sold her own jewelry to arrange food for me. Is that the truth, my child? Yes, it is the truth. The only one guilty is this doctor. Today, I am truly regretful that I was born a princess. I should have been born in a hut. This is where real moral values exist, among the poor, not in a palace.
Forgive me, my child. We are the real ones to blame. Soldiers, arrest the doctor and throw him into the dungeon. I ask for your mercy, my king. I was blinded by greed. Mercy!
The doctor gets arrested.
Mother, father, the maid will no longer live here in this hut. She will live in the palace with us, just like a family member. As you wish, my dear daughter. It will allow us to express our repentance as well.
The four of them lived happily in the palace for a long time to come. The end. The Glowing Princess. A long time ago, there lived a king who fell very ill because of an evil spell. According to the spell, there was only one thing that could save him, and that was the dirt from a rabbit hole that was at least 10 years old. As you might guess, this was a tough spell to break.
I shall go to the end of the world to find it.
The prince set out into the forest to find a rabbit's hole. He rode along, but no rabbit could be seen, until suddenly one rabbit shot across his path. Rabbit entered a cave, and so did the prince. A cave that belonged to an evil giant.
Now, who do we have here? A prince it is. How dare you enter my cave? I need the soil from a rabbit's hole. Please let me get that. My father's life depends on it, and then I'll be out of your way. Am I a fool to let you go? You're going nowhere.
The giant put the prince into a cage.
Let me go! Let me go, please!
For 2 days, the prince stayed in the cage. He tried his best to get out, but he couldn't. He was sick with worry about his dear father. On the second night, the cage was suddenly opened. The prince winced at a strange light, and he saw a maiden, the most glowing lady there ever could have been in the entire world. I am the rabbit you followed the other day. The giant has enchanted me such that I become a rabbit by day and regain my true form of a princess at night. Quick! The giant is out. Run away before he comes back and takes this earth from a 10-year-old rabbit's hole for your father. Go now!
Could you repeat that a little bit slower? Giant is out. You want me to run away before he comes back?
Yes.
And you want me to take some of your dirt?
Right about now would be good, yeah?
Are you 10?
Yes.
As a rabbit, are you 10?
Yes.
Okay, thanks. Give me your dirt.
There you go.
Pile it on. A little bit more. Oh, and, is there anything I can do to help you? Do you want to just stay here and be a rabbit, or?
No, I'm good. Yes, of course I'd like some help.
Okay, what can I do to help you?
Escape from here now, and then when your father is well, go out and wander into the world. You will find a way to help me. Now leave.
Those are pretty vague directions, but, I'm a good wanderer. Okay, see ya somewhere.
Bye. The prince did as he was told. He went into the palace and saved his father's life. And then, as the princess had said, he decided to wander around the world.
Father, now that you're well, I got a neat story to tell you. You know that dirt that I made you eat before you got well? I got that from a rabbit. Not just any rabbit. This rabbit was actually a princess. Cursed to be a rabbit sometimes during the day. Anyway, skip forward. I'm supposed to leave you and go wander aimlessly around the world until I find her, and that's all she told me. But I'll figure it out from there. Love you, Dad. Glad you're well. There's some dirt in the fridge. My son, I understand, more or less. Thank you for the dirt. The rabbit princess saved my life. You have to go do whatever you need to do to help her. Got it. Okay. So, thanks. Also, I think I'm gonna do this as, like, a regular peasant man and see what trade I can learn while I go. I don't know how long this wandering thing is gonna take. I might as well get some sort of occupational education. Very well. All the best, son. Good luck.
So the prince left the palace as an ordinary youth. He wandered far when one night he met a fisherman at an inn.
Hey, young man. I haven't seen you around here before. Are you new? Yes, I'm looking to learn how to trade. I mean, learn a trade. I would like to learn your trade. Then why don't you follow me? I could use some help with some strong hands like yours. Care to become a fisherman? Yes.
So the prince went with the fisherman and learned the trade of fishing. After a few days, when work was over, the fisherman said,
This net was given to me by a wizard. No one could escape from this net. Take it with you as payment. Thank you so much.
And so, the prince moved on. When he was hungry, he fished. When he needed money, he sold fish. And he reached a new kingdom, the palace of which shone with 1,000 bright lights at night. He asked someone passing by about it.
My man, I'm new here. Please tell me, why is this palace decorated?
Oh, the palace is decorated every night. The king, as a proud father, celebrates the beauty of our princess, and the king challenges the lady who glows more than his daughter.
Why such an emphasis on beauty?
It's just the pride of a father.
Oh, okay.
The prince went to the king's court.
Your Highness, I know of a maiden like glowing, sunny things. I saw a girl. She's pretty and bright. She's like the sunlight of the sun itself. I'm sorry, I really didn't think this through before I came. Your Highness, I know of a maiden as glowing like the sun itself. Fisherman, I give you a week. Bring her here. Yes, very well.
So the prince went back to the forest and found his way to the giant's cave. He entered the cave. They had a huge fight. He captured him in his net, and the giant was imprisoned. The prince held the princess, and both came out of the cave. The prince told the princess all about the king and his daughter.
So now that I've rescued you, we need to go on this mission to help out this other princess. She's tired of her dad bragging on and on about her beauty. The whole palace is decorated. You gotta come see it. What do you say?
Okay, yes, I understand. Sounds good. Let's do it. Road trip!
Alright, so how do we get the enchantment, the giant's spell curse thingy on you about the rabbit stuff to be broken forever? We gotta get that taken care of.
Yeah, sure. So it can be broken if I walk through a mist of gold.
As a woman or as a rabbit?
I don't know. We'll just have to try both. How much time do you have? So they traveled to the kingdom.
Where is the maid that you said is more beautiful than my daughter? Your Highness, to reveal her, I need a good amount of gold mist from your treasury. Do you have, like, one of those little misty bottles?
The king was very desperate to see the glowing princess, so he ordered,
Get him a bowl of gold dust. The dust must be put into pipes to be blown into the air so it rises like a golden mist. It's part of the presentation of the most beautiful princess in the world. Your Highness, he's wasting our time and your gold dust. If he's wasting our time, he shall pay for it.
So the gold dust was filled into pipes, and guards blew it so that the dust rose like a thick golden mist. Then the princess arrived. She walked out from the golden mist. Her enchantment was finally broken, and the entire court sat mesmerized by her immense beauty.
My lady, you are indeed the most glowing woman in the world.
See, Father? Now please, stop bragging about my beauty to everyone.
I am sorry, my dear.
The prince told the king everything. The king arranged for them to go back to the prince's kingdom, where they were married and lived happily ever after. The giant never bothered them again, but they were careful to never venture near his cave. The end. The Magical Wishing Pond. Once upon a time, there was a little princess named Jasmine. She was her father's only child, and she was spoiled. She was very stubborn and very selfish. She was always hungry for delicious food. One day, a magician visited the king to give him blessings and to warn him about a magical wishing pond within his dynasty.
O king, I came here to give you an ominous warning. About a wishing pond in your state, which is...
At the same time, little Jasmine was passing by the courtroom, and she saw the magician talking to her father. She got excited when she heard about the magical wishing pond. As soon as she heard about a magical wishing pond, she ran to her room without staying to listen to the magician's full sentence.
I must go to the magical wishing pond to ask for delicious food.
The next day morning, Jasmine hurriedly got ready and started her journey towards the pond. At noon, she reached it with few gold coins in her pocket. She wanted to wish for many things, like a delicious cake, ice cream, hamburger, pizza, crispy turkey, chocolates, cookies, and many more. But when she read the warning sign at the pond, she was disappointed. It said, 1 wish per person.
Magic pond, give me a wish. Grant me a food pot, which will give me a treat.
Suddenly, a magical pot came up from the pond, following a whisper. Here is your wish. What you ask for? Follow my instructions, or it will work not. You have to say 3 magical words. Ting, tong, twang. Then the magical pot will begin making delicious food. It will fulfill your hungriest desires. But do not forget to say stop, pot, stop, or else it will make food non-stop.
Okay, whatever.
Jasmine came back to her palace. She was very curious about the magical pot and mumbled the magical words.
Ting tong twain, I want chocolate cake and cocoa pudding.
Magically, the pot started making a fountain of chocolate pudding and cake. Jasmine dove in and ate as though she were starving. Days and days passed as she asked for her every kind of food she could think of. She started to gain lots of weight. One day, King visited her. He saw a fat kid eating a chicken leg, and he came near. He didn't realize it was his daughter until he came closer. He was surprised and said,
Oh, my dear princess, what have you done to yourself?
Father, I visited a magical wishing pond a few days earlier and asked for a magic food pot. Now, for the last few days, I've been making wishes for food, and last night, I forgot the magical words to stop the pot.
The king realized how selfish and greedy she was, and he held the crying princess in his arms and said,
Dear princess, you never listen to anyone. I know you heard that magician talk about the magical wishing pond, but you must not have listened to everything he said. Oh, king, I came here to give you an ominous warning. Ooh. A wishing pond in your state, which grants wishes, but those wishes always come with a consequence. It is an evil magical pond. I suggest you destroy it as soon as possible. Now you know, my dear princess, why this is happening.
Then the king summoned his guards and ordered,
Pick up that pot and burn it in the fire.
Immediately, guards followed the instructions, and they put the pot in the burning stove and watched till it melted and turned to ashes. Afterward, the princess started to do daily exercise, and soon she came into her original shape. After that, they lived happily forever. Moral of the story: never act on half-heard stories. The end. The Magical Bottle. Abu was a fisherman. He lived near the beach and had been fishing for as long as he could remember. When he was young, he would stay at sea all night. In the morning, he would return with a big catch of fresh fish, which he would sell at the local market. And now, Abu was almost 80 years old, and too old to go out to sea in his boat. So instead, he would throw his net out from the shore 4 times a day. He would eat some of the fish, and the rest he would sell for a little money. One day, he went out to the sea in the morning. He threw his net over the water. After some time, he could feel something heavy trapped in the net. He pulled and pulled and pulled, and it took all his strength to get his net up onto the shore, and found a dead donkey tangled in the net.
Oh no!
He cried.
All this effort for a dead donkey? What will I do? What can I eat?
So he thought about old King Solomon, an ancient king who was known for his wisdom. And then the old man once more cast his net into the water, and soon he could tell he had caught something. This time the net was even heavier. With all his strength again, Abu slowly pulled up the net to shore, and inside was a barrel full of sand.
Oh no!
He cried again.
All of this effort for a barrel full of sand. What will I do? What can I eat?
Again, he thought about King Solomon's great wisdom and decided to persevere. Abu cast his net into the water a 3rd time. This time, something even heavier got trapped in the net. It made a clanging sound like pots and pans banging against each other. And guess what it was? A whole bunch of old pots and pans. They were all rusted and of no use. So Abu looked to the sky and cried out,
Why do I deserve this? I have only the strength to cast my net 4 times in each day, and I've already done it 3 times. If I cannot catch any fish the 4th time, I'll surely die of hunger today. Why must I capture all of this junk?
With his prayer on his lips, Abu threw the net one last time. This time, something even heavier got trapped in the net. Abu had to wade deep into the water to pull the net out. He saw it was a brass bottle. This time, Abu was happy. Even though he had not caught any fish, the brass bottle looked solid. Perhaps he could sell it for more gold coins and have enough food for the next month. but he saw that the bottle had lead seal on it. And looking closely, Abu realized that the seal was none other than King Solomon's. He was now very curious to know what was inside the bottle. He opened the seal with the knife. As soon as he opened it, a huge magical creature came out from the bottle. It shot out 100 feet into the sky with a huge roar. Abu was so scared he cried out in fear. The creature noticed Abu and shrunk down to just 10 feet so he could talk with Abu.
Fisherman, did you free me?
It thundered.
Me? Yes, magical creature. My name is Abu.
Abu, a fine name,
said the creature with a smile.
I have been trapped in that bottle for a long time. Thank you, fisherman Abu. Now tell me, how would you like to die?
Die? But, sir, I freed you. Why would you want to kill me?
I was trapped in that bottle by King Solomon, fisherman Abu.
But Solomon ruled this land almost 2,000 years ago.
Yes, 1,800 years ago, to be precise. I rebelled against him. So Solomon defeated me and trapped me in this bottle. Then, he had the bottle thrown into the sea. I have regretted my mistake ever since.
But that means I have freed you from prison. Why do you want to kill me?
For 1,000 years, I wished someone would free me. I pledged that I would give that person enough wealth to last his lifetime, but no one came. Then in anger, I pledged that I would kill the man who would free me. But I would allow that man to choose the way he would die. So, how would you like to die, Fisherman Abu?
Abu thought again of King Solomon's wisdom, and then a clever idea came to him.
Sir, you claim that Solomon trapped you in that bottle? But I don't believe you.
What?
Cried the creature, and his voice boomed like 100 thunders.
You are so tall. Your hands are like the trunk of the tree. There's no way you could have fit inside that tiny bottle. I don't care if I die, but I don't want to be killed by a liar.
You puny fisherman. I may be evil and mean and make stupid promises, but I never lied a lie in my life.
Then prove it,
said Abu. The creature swished its hands. It turned into smoke and slowly, bit by bit, entered the bottle. And from inside it shouted,
See? I can fit into this bottle.
Abu quickly picked up the lead seal and trapped the creature inside the bottle again. The creature tried his best to come out, but he could not break the seal. Then the creature roared in thunder, but then calmed himself down and said sneakily,
You tricked me! I give up. You're too clever for me, Abu. Now, I wish to get out of this jar, and I pledge I will give the man who freed me his youth back. Good deal, right? Come on, free me, Abu. Your prize is waiting for you.
Abu listened calmly, and with a cunning smile he said,
You think I am a fool? I have lived my life to the fullest, and I don't need anything more than that. I may be old, but not foolish enough to free you again. Now, bye-bye!
No, wait. Let me make another deal for you.
Abu threw the bottle back into the sea and was grateful that his life was saved. The end. The Goose Girl. Once upon a time, there was an old queen who had a beautiful daughter. And when the princess grew up, she was betrothed to a prince who lived in a far, far away kingdom. Mother, do I have to do this? Yes, my dear daughter.
I gave the prince my word that you would marry him. But I want to stay here with you. I am old, and I will soon be gone. I want you to have a husband who will protect you. I don't want to leave you, Mother. But if you say so, I will go. I don't want you to go alone, so my maidservant, Aisha, is going with you. Is your horse ready? Yes, Mother. We are both ready to go now. Remember that Aisha is loyal to me, and I'm sure that she will tell me everything that happens to you. Yes, I know, Mother. Don't worry. The queen and her daughter went outside of the palace, where the maid and the horses were waiting. Let's go, Aisha.
As you wish, princess.
Goodbye, then. But what the queen did not know was that Aisha was angry inside, and jealous, and greedy. She wanted to be a princess, and didn't like the queen's daughter at all. The princess and the maid mounted their horses and left the palace. After many hours of traveling, the princess was thirsty and said to her maid, "Please, Aisha, bring me some water from the stream."
"Get it yourself if you're thirsty. Just lie down at the river and drink from it."
The princess was humble. She got off her horse, bent down over the water in the stream, and drank and mounted her horse again. Then the maid said,
"From now on, I give the orders and you must obey me. Now, take off your dress and give it to me, and you will wear mine. I am now the princess. Promise me that you will not tell anybody about this, or you will regret it."
"I promise." So the maid wore the princess's dress and mounted the princess's horse. The horse seemed to sense that he should be carrying the real princess and didn't quite obey Aisha's orders. But eventually, the two women arrived at the royal palace, where the prince came out to meet them.
Welcome to my palace, dear princess. Who is the girl?
She's my maidservant. She's traveled with me from my kingdom, but I don't like her. Perhaps we can put her to work in your kingdom. She's of no use to me now.
Well, I have a little boy named Conrad who takes care of the geese. I guess we can help him.
Oh, and by the way, please kill my horse.
What? Why? He seems like such a nice horse.
I almost died on the road because of him.
Aisha knew that the princess's horse was actually a magical speaking horse, and that he might tell someone that she was not the princess.
I can't kill your horse, but if you wish, I will put him in the lockup.
Thank you.
Nay.
And the horse was locked in a place where nobody could see him again. The next day, Aisha went to see the princess.
You will never see your horse again.
Why are you doing this to me?
Keep working, or I'll tell the prince to get rid of you, too.
The maid left, and the princess started crying. Suddenly, an old stableman approached her and said,
"Don't worry. I know where your horse is. I will take you to where they keep him."
"Oh, thank you, good man." There, Conrad was hiding behind a bush and listened to the whole conversation, and he thought,
This sounds interesting. I will also be here, and maybe, just maybe, the king will know about this too.
Stableman took the princess to see the horse. Conrad was hiding behind them.
Here we are. Now, you'll have to be careful.
"I will." The old man left, and the princess went inside the palace where the horse was. Conrad followed her. As soon as she saw the horse, she said, "Oh, my poor horsey, what have they done to you?"
Well, my princess, you are also suffering. If only your mother knew. Her heart would break.
Conrad was astonished when he saw that the horse could speak.
Oh my, am I crazy? The horse can talk? I must tell the prince, but will he believe me? I don't know. I've got to go think about this.
While he was thinking about this, the princess left. The next morning,
everything was normal as usual, the princess started combing her hair, which was like pure gold. Conrad wanted to pluck out a few hairs. "Conrad, stop bothering me. Leave my hair alone."
But your hair is so lovely. Do you want me to braid your hair?
"No, stop it, Conrad."
"But I want some of your hair."
"Leave me alone," the princess yelled, and then she spoke to the wind. "Blow, blow, gentle wind, I say, blow Conrad's little hat away, and make him chase it here and there, until I have braided all my hair." And there came such a violent wind that it blew Conrad's hat far away across country, and he was forced to run after it. When he came back, she had finished combing her hair. Conrad was angry, and he left and went straight to see the prince.
"Your Majesty, I don't want to be near that girl again. I'm scared. She is just an innocent girl. How can you be so afraid of her?" "No, Your Majesty, I think she's a witch. A very bad witch." "A witch? You should have told me that in the first place. Come on, tell me everything." "Well, see, Your Majesty, the other day I overheard the horse."
Conrad told the king everything he knew about the princess and her horse, and about the way the wind blew his hat.
"Go home now, Conrad. I will take care of everything."
The next day, the prince hid near the place where Horsey was, and he waited until the princess came to see the horse. "Good morning, my dear Horsey."
Good morning, my dear princess. If only your mother knew what you're going through, her heart would break.
The prince heard the conversation, but he also saw how Conrad bothered the princess, and how the wind blew his hat. Then, without being seen, he went away. Next day, he asked to talk to the girl in the servant clothes, who was the real princess. "My Majesty, do you want to talk with me?"
Yes, please tell me. Is there something bothering you? I mean, I've been watching you, and I know that there's something wrong. You can trust me.
Princess wept bitterly. Then she emptied her whole heart. She told everything. The prince listened carefully and said,
My dear child, I knew there was something wrong with that woman. Your maid, Aisha, deserves to be punished. She will be locked away in jail forever, and I will marry you.
"Oh, King, thank you. But what about my Horsey?"
Don't worry about him. He will be free.
The next day, the wedding was celebrated at the palace. There was a great feast, and the royal couple lived happily ever after. Forever. The end. Mangita and Lorena. Once upon a time, in the lake town of Montreal, there lived a fisherman with his 2 daughters, Mangita and Lorena. Mangita was the older daughter and was very kind and loving to everyone, but Lorena was very rude. Mangita did all the homework, while Lorena never helped her sister and cared less about her father. She was sitting near the lake and looking at her reflection and thinking, "Am I not the most beautiful girl in the town?" One day, the fisherman fell very ill and died. Mangita was devastated. She cried and wept for hours, but soon realized that the responsibility of her family now rested on her shoulders. "Sister, I am here to talk to you about something important." "Oh, go away. Can't you see I am busy?" "Well, I won't take much of your time." "Oh? What is it?" "Well, since Father is not with us anymore, we don't have anyone to make any money. So, I have decided to go sell fish in the market every day. I don't know if it will be enough, but I will try my best." "Okay, whatever." "You don't have to be so unkind to me. You know I love you, right?" "Oh, I don't need your love, sister. I was born in the wrong family. My Prince Charming will come. You will see." Mangita let out a sigh.
Oh, I wish all the happiness for you, little sister. Days passed, and Mangita worked very hard to make ends meet for herself and her sister. One day, when she came home with just a few coins, she felt very sad. Lorena, I'm sorry, but what I earned is not enough to feed the two of us. Would you help me sell the fish tomorrow?
What?
I'm asking you to help me.
You must be out of your mind. I am a future queen. No way. But enough. I am going to the lake.
Mangita was very sad. She sat down and started to cry. Lorena stepped out of the house and saw an old lady standing outside.
What do you want, old lady?
Oh, dear child, I'm hungry and thirsty, and have walked for miles. Would you be so kind enough to give me a loaf to eat and a little water to drink?
Do I look like a servant to you? Get out of my way, old lady.
Lorena pushed the old woman out of her way and walked away. Hearing an old woman's cry, Mangita immediately came out of the house and was horrified to see the woman lying on the ground. Oh, I am so sorry. Mangita helped the old woman stand up and brought her inside the house. The old woman explained to her how Lorena had pushed her. Mangita was shocked. Oh, I am so sorry, madam. My sister can sometimes be unkind.
Oh, that's all right. You seem to be the kinder one. If you would be kind enough to give me a little to eat and water to drink, I would be on my way.
Mangita nodded and brought her the only bread she had. She also gave her a glass of water. The old woman happily ate the bread and drank the water.
Oh, thank you, my child. You are a kind soul.
The old woman left. Mangita went to sleep without any food that day. A few days later, Mangita fell ill and was too weak to stand. Lorena, as usual, did not care much. Oh, sister, please go to the market and sell the fish. We have no savings to survive.
I am not going anywhere, I'm telling you, for the last time.
Saying that, Lorena stepped out of the house, and there was the old woman again.
You again?
I heard that Mangita is unwell. I have brought her these seeds. Let me in, so that I can take care of her. She will be fine soon.
But Lorena did not want Mangita to recover, so she lied to the old woman.
Oh, she's quite all right. I'm her sister, and I'm taking good care of her.
Are you sure?
Absolutely.
Well, okay then. Please, use these to take care of your sister.
Lorena took the bag of seeds from the old woman. Mangita's fever worsened, and all night she could not sleep. Lorena did not even tell her about the seeds and hid the bag under the bed. The next morning, Mangita was sweating a lot. Lorena smiled, and as she was about to leave the house, the old woman entered.
Huh? How dare you enter our house without permission?
The old woman smiled and snapped her fingers. At once, she turned into a handsome-looking man.
I am a prince. Prince Michael. I have mystic powers and am looking for the kindest woman on earth to marry. And I must say, I have finally found the right girl.
Well, of course, my friend. You have no idea how long I have waited. Let's go far away and live happily ever after.
Quiet, you rude brat. I wasn't talking about you.
Huh?
Prince Michael turned his sight towards Mangita and closed his eyes. Golden light surrounded his body. Mangita opened her eyes and felt as if she was never sick. Prince Michael opened his eyes, and the golden light vanished. Lorena and Mangita were both surprised. They had no clue what was going on. Prince Michael smiled, and then explained everything.
I was out all night watching over you. Your sister did not give you the seeds I left for you. She did not want you to live.
Mangita was devastated to hear this, and she turned towards her sister, heartbroken. My sister, why?
Oh, please. I don't have time for all this drama. Go away from here with your weird old woman prince. Go!
Tears ran down Mangita's face, but the prince came forward to speak with her.
Do not feel sad for her. She does not deserve your love and kindness. Some people choose to keep bitterness in their hearts, and they'll never change.
My sister will change one day. I know it. The prince proposed to Mangita, and she said yes. Prince Michael snapped his fingers, and the two vanished without a trace. In a grand wedding, Mangita and the prince got married, and the two lived a happy and content life. The end.